unbelievable performance at Soldier Field in the home finale as the Bears win and win big 37-17 over the Atlanta Falcons. The Bears close out the season with 5 consecutive wins at home heading into the season finale next week at Lambeau Field. And in the meantime, the Bears have also secured the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft after Carolina lost to Jacksonville today. So there is a lot to discuss, and we want you to join us the entire time. 312-644-6767 is the phone number. Zach Zaidman, Jim Schwantz in for Mully, Olin, and Manley on this postgame show, the Great Clips postgame show, presented by Tullamore Dew. And to me, the simple thing that comes out of this is you're left wondering, can Justin Fields be the guy we saw today full-time going forward? Because anyone who is enraptured with Justin Fields' talent got an opportunity to see it in full effect against the Falcons. He went 20 of 32 passing for 268 yards today with a touchdown, and then ran 11 times for 45 yards and a touchdown. Would have been even more yards if his teammates didn't commit penalties, but it was that kind of a performance, the dual threat at full level, that led the Bears to victory.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time talking about it in the pregame show. This Falcon team very unsettled at the quarterback position. You saw the Bears defense take full advantage of that today with 4 interceptions, 3 from Heineke and 1 from Desmond Ridder there at the end. But offensively, DJ Moore immediately got going. We wondered on the pregame show who was going to be the second guy, who was going to be Robin if you were to Batman, because knew DJ Moore was going to get his, but to target him 13 times, 9 receptions for 159 yards and the touchdown. He ran sometimes, Zach, he really looked like he was unguarded, like he was really not even checked, which is hard to believe because as a team that really is limited on offensive weaponry at the receiver position, with Cole Kmet coming in, with the questionable tag and not really playing much today, we're not even targeted. You figured somebody else would have to pick up the slack so they could roll coverage to DJ Moore, do something to try to take him out of the game. And for whatever reason, that didn't happen. Good for the Bear fans. But yeah, the running game came alive as well. Khalil Herbert averaging 6.9 yards a carry. That's a big number. This Bear team really just dominated from the beginning of the game to the end. Justin did his Justin things. He got out of a couple of ridiculous jams where he was sack was imminent, but was able to escape that and really just beat the Falcons with his legs from time to time. But it was an all around unbelievable offensive performance, and then that defense just continuing to do what they do. Only giving up. They had 134 yards given up rushing. That's well above what they're averaging. But they turned the football over again, which is what we've been looking for, what we've been seeing. Not a lot of pressure on the quarterback, just a couple of sacks, but certainly a performance to get it done. 37-17 is a big number. I did not see that many points before the game, especially with the weather conditions the way they were when the game started.
This was a blowout of the highest proportion. I don't think any of us expected the game to kind of unfold the way it did. I think most of us thought it would be one of those ugly, low-scoring games. It was ugly, but ugly for Atlanta. Very good for the Bears, who dominated in all facets. As you mentioned, Justin Fields with a big game passing. Khalil Herbert led the rushing attack, which was impressive with 124 yards. And DJ Moore, 9 catches, 159 yards receiving. The Bears defense with 4 picks. Stevenson with 2 of them, Edwards and Gordon each with 1, and we saw Gordon with a Spider-Man-like spin, leap, and flip in the end zone after his terrific play. A lot to like at Soldier Field, and I guess the question becomes, did you learn anything about the Bears today that you didn't know prior to the game starting? And I say that because, again, prior to the start of this one, you kind of felt like you knew how this movie was going to play out, and you just needed to see the final 2 games to see the conclusion of the movie. But I think a lot of people have had their minds made up as to what the Bears may have to do or not do this offseason. So what do you learn when you take on a team like Atlanta that was playing for a playoff spot, and the Bears do what they did today?
Yeah, you certainly take everything in context. And certainly you would have loved to seen the Bears play, let's just say the 49ers, somebody or with substance that you could kind of measure them against. But this is the team that lined up against them, the professional football team. As you mentioned, Zach, they were still vying at 11% chance for a playoff spot, so they were still vying for a playoff position. And they're a professional football team. But this feels like it's been building the last few games. I mean, the Cleveland game, certainly don't like how that game ended, but the Bears have been bullying a lot of teams recently. So it's been kind of building, as you mentioned, the last five straight wins at Soldier Field, getting that home field advantage kind of going back to where it should be, where you should be counting those wins at home each and every week. And then you got the Bears crowd. We want Justin, the chance towards the end there. We've been in that stadium enough, you and I both, at the end of seasons, at the end of games in the second half where the boo birds just are raining down at the end of seasons. And at the end of last year, you think about the end of last year, losing the last 4 games and the boo birds coming down. And then to finish the game here at Soldier Field, finish the season, I should say, and have that chant going out, that's if that was indeed his last game as a starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears in Soldier Field, then that was a heck of a going away.
What's the old saying? Leave them wanting more. Yeah. And Justin Fields definitely did that. And now there are some tough decisions that need to be made for the Bears heading into the offseason. One more game left in the regular season at Lambeau Field. Bears have secured the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 draft. So, have you seen enough from Justin Fields over the last 3 years to make you think this is who he is? How much better can it get? Time to pivot and move in a new direction? Or do you say to yourself, I've seen enough to believe there's a lot more to come. You keep him, and now you take that number 1 pick, you trade it away again for the second consecutive year and continue to try to add even more with a treasure trove of picks in return to surround Justin Fields and the rest of what is a budding nucleus and try to turn that into something very, very special with Matt Eberflus as coach, Luke Getsy as offensive coordinator, and Justin Fields as quarterback. Chris Lewis and Ross Tucker with a call on CBS. Jervon Dexter Sr. leading a whole host of Bears as they were on the prowl attacking Taylor Heineke today. The defense was lights out. 4 interceptions for the Bears defense, and then the offense as impressive as it has looked all season in every aspect. Justin Fields looked good with his arm in the pocket. He looked good with his legs, getting extra yards. Khalil Herbert had a big day as well, 124 yards rushing. DJ Moore was lights out, 9 catches for 159 yards as the Bears blow out the Falcons 37-17, and the Bears now improve to 7-9 on the season, with the season finale taking place next week at Lambeau Field. And the Bears also a victory off the field. That's because Carolina lost to Jacksonville, so the Bears have secured the number 1 overall pick officially for the 2024 NFL Draft. The Great Clips postgame show presented by Tullamore Dew, Zach Zaidman, Jim Schwantz in for Mully, Olin, and Manley on this football Sunday. Jim, let's go right out to the phones, right?
Let's do it.
All right, 312-644-6767 is the phone number. Mike in Las Vegas, you are on the score. What's up, Mike?
Hey, guys. How you doing? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not, God love the Bears. They won today, but okay, you beat the Falcons. The Falcons lost to Carolina. I'm just not. The schedule was weak this year. Okay, we played some of the worst teams in the NFL. I'm not impressed with the NFC North. That was garbage. Justin Fields, you see the same flash play. Yeah, he got some legs. Yeah, he escaped. That's not worth $24 to $40 million. I'm sorry. I'm not paying him. I'm not paying Justin Fields for that. Okay? Call me when you beat somebody consistently with your arm. And people comparing Lamar Jackson to Justin Fields. Justin Fields is nowhere near Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is not – you're not even in the same ballpark of a Lamar Jackson. I've seen all I need to see out of Justin Fields. If this was Justin Fields' first year, if this was his rookie year, I said, yeah, I'm looking forward to what's going on. Not in year 3 going into year 4 and have to pay him a 5th-year option of 23. No. We can get the same passing production out of a rookie that we get out of Justin Fields. That running the ball, escaping, that style, it doesn't last. Ask Cam Newton. Ask RG3. When you get older in your career, that running style, that's why Tom Brady lasted as long as he lasted. You didn't see him running around the field like that. But he got Super Bowls and championships. I don't care about your running ability. I need you to pass the football from the pocket consistently. That's what I need. So, I mean, I'm not impressed. We got the first-round pick, first draft pick. Justin, happy trails to you. See you later.
Thanks for the call, Mike. Really appreciate. And this is going to be part of the dialogue now as the Bears enter the offseason.
As you mentioned before, the Bears are officially on the clock. And Mike is right. The fact that the Bears did have a garbage schedule because the Bears were the worst team in football last year, and you get the benefit of the last place schedule. But you can only play the teams that are on your schedule, the teams that line up against you. You can't play the 49ers today. You can't play the Baltimore Ravens today. You can only play the Atlanta Falcons because they were the ones that were in the stadium against you. So you play who's in front of you, but I don't disagree. I don't disagree with the fact that at the end of most of these guys' career, you think of Peyton Manning, you think of Tom Brady. Remember when they were going to get sacked, what they would do? They'd hit the ground. Remember that? They didn't want any of that kind of stuff. The running quarterbacks are subjected to much more physical game, a lot more hits, and he's exactly right. Comparing him and Lamar Jackson is a total disservice. One of them has an MVP in their back pocket. One of them is one of the more dynamic playmakers and has a resume to speak of, and one of them's only in year 3 of his NFL career.
And there are those that will say that, what happens if you spend this offseason continuing to add to that Bears offense? You get another really quality receiver opposite DJ Moore. You add another tight end to the mix. You upgrade the offensive line just a little bit more. 3rd year in the system. Maybe Justin Fields is finally, now with some stability, able to take that next step. Or do you decide, because there are many people that'll say, you're crazy if you want to pay this quarterback when you can start over, get a quarterback who might be in the same realm in year 1, and by year 3, may be significantly better than what we're watching. So that's part of the equation that Ryan Poles has to take into account. 312-644-6767 is the phone number. Let's say hi to Chris in Evanston. Hi, Chris. You're on the score.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Any other Sunday, I'd agree with the last caller on pretty much all his points. I've been, against Justin Fields' play, not believing in him, but what I never see from him is what I saw today. He stood in that pocket. Yes, they didn't blitz him. He wasn't under pressure, but he was throwing dimes like he was Steve Young. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily enough that I believe we should keep him, but I certainly, after a performance like this, if he comes out next week against the Pack and plays anything close to this, you can't argue with a GM that says I'm trading away the number 1 or using it to get a left tackle or another number 1 wide receiver, and I'm building around this guy. I don't think it's what we should do, but you couldn't have asked for him to go out and play better in the pocket than he did today, other than at the end where he got sacked, looking the way he does, where he holds the ball too long. But I asked anybody to look at that game today and say what he did wrong other than that one play. In addition to that, all the fans and the media that have been going after Eberflus this whole season, look what he's done since he's taken over as defensive coordinator. Look what he's done. So you're going to take a young, budding defense. I believe they said we haven't given up a 100-yard rusher all game, another 17 points scored in a team fighting for the playoffs. I mean, you're going to get rid of this coach after all he's done in the second half of the season. When you went out last year, you gutted his defense. You got rid of every playmaker they had, Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith, and then he turns it around this year, rebuilds the defense because you went and got a pass rusher. But that's my thoughts on it, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm thinking back to a couple of throws that Justin made today. The throw to DJ Moore for the touchdown in the back corner of the end zone was in a really, really, really tight window. Nice job by DJ Moore, putting his hands up at the very last second to kind of confused the defensive back Bates, who was the safety who had gotten him in the coverage, and then the one Tyler Scott dropped in the end zone was an absolute throw over that back shoulder, kind of ball into the end zone there. But and kudos to Luke Getsy too. Luke Getsy saw something that they liked, putting DJ Moore in the slot. Got him opportunities, especially early in the game. That touchdown was against a safety. He'll take a wide receiver on a safety 100 times out of 100. He obviously Justin made a couple errant throws. He had Tyler Scott wide open and overshot him by a little bit. But as far as accuracy goes in the pocket, to the caller Chris's point, there wasn't a lot of pressure on him. I think they only blitzed him a handful of times today, and when they did, they were fairly successful. When he had time in the pocket, that offensive line did a nice job against a 4-man rush. He was able to give him time to throw the football, and he was able to get it done today. And obviously without a lot of weapons, no number 2 receiver, no Cole Kmet for the most part. Cole was out there, but certainly wasn't active, wasn't even targeted today in the passing game. So a really nice job though today.
It is amazing how emotional we all get.
Oh yeah,
after each and every game that is played, and I don't think Ryan Poles can afford that kind of luxury. I think he has to step back. You get to the offseason, and then you start to evaluate, how did this thing transpire? Why are there some games where Justin Fields looks like he is the answer, like today when he was lights out? And why are there games where we end up having this heated debate as to the Bears needing to pick another quarterback and start over and try to put themselves in a position where you are looking for this never-ending, elusive franchise quarterback? 312-644-6767 is the phone number. I also know we're probably going to take a lot of calls today praising Luke Getsy for the excellent game plan that he had and the execution of his players, because, as we know, Chicago has been very fair to Luke Getsy and the way he has developed Fields from what he looked like through the beginning of last season, unlocking the running ability with some of the great pass plays, and watching Fields look the way he did today. I'm sure Luke Getsy will get all of the credit, because when Justin Fields doesn't look like that, the blame usually ends up going to Getsy. So I'm scratching my head here a little bit. And as I know, we're very level-headed in Chicago.